everybody, and welcome to Generally Speaking, the podcast that bridges the worlds of pop culture and personal development. I'm your host, Jennifer Snook. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Before we get into it, you guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you reach out and smash that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. There's so much to talk about today. I've got that wedding coming up. It's about to be Mother's Day weekend, so we're going to do a little Mother's Day thing at the end of the pod. But before we get into it, let's get Christy on the line.
If you like it, say go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.
Hi, good morning. Happy Friday.
Good morning. Happy Friday. I know we got the note. Everybody, we are a little dressed up today in honor of Mother's Day because this is technically our Mother's Day pod. And I just got to tell you, I'm loving the animal print.
You need to see the full. So Ross, everybody, is my favorite store.
Oh, Jesus. Is this a Ross find?
This is a Ross find.
I love a Ross. Oh, I love those pants.
$13.99. They're silky and they have a pocket.
I love them. And is that a pink stripe down the side?
Yeah, green and pink and leopard. So happy Mother's Day, everybody.
So when did you get those?
This week. So I do not like to go on any other day than a Tuesday because Tuesdays are, if you're 55 and older, which I am not, it's 10% off. So when I go, and it's packed on Tuesdays because the 55 and older crowd knows it. But when I go to the register, I say, is today 55 and older? I'm just asking the question and they assume, so they give me the 10% off.
Oh, so you're not technically lying.
Right. I'm just asking a question.
I love that.
So Tuesdays.
Do you know that I literally just purchased, honestly, last week, my very first piece of leopard print, anything in my entire life. And it's like a mellow leopard print. It's not, it's not a bam one, but I love it. I mean, I'm in love with it. I love it so much that I sent Carly a picture. I was telling her, I said, I can't even believe I'm wearing this leopard print shirt today. I've never worn leopard print. She goes, send me a picture. So I send her a picture of me in this freaking leopard print. And she's so funny, my daughter. She goes, oh my God, Mom, I love that shirt on you so much. She goes, how come you never wear that when I'm there? She goes, why? How come you don't wear that when I'm at the salon? And she was so annoyed because I don't know. Apparently she wants me to wear leopard print more. It was a big winner in her eyes.
You have to send me a picture of it. I love
it. It's really cute. It's got a little bow right here.
Oh,
it's so cute.
Of course.
I love it. I was like, I didn't even try it on. When you love something and you're just like, no, I got to have it. I felt that it was going to be right. And it was a big winner.
Yay, leopard.
Maybe I've been sitting on the sidelines of animal print for far too long now. I need to dive in the deep end.
Lisa Rinna-ish.
Great. So we need to tell everybody about our big announcement, our very fun announcement we have coming up. Next week, you guys, I have that big wedding coming up. The wedding we're recording this on a Friday and the wedding is next Friday. So this time next week, I will be we're just going into hair and makeup, just getting ready, and I am so excited. But before that, I'm recording a special episode with Triz. His name is Joey, but he goes by Triz or Trizzo, and you guys know him. He's on TikTok. He is hilarious. You've seen him, Chris. I mean, he just popped up in my feed, and I was like, I have to know this guy because, he's full on kindred spirit. We had the best phone call the other day, and he is such a fun, sweet guy. I can't wait. We're going to dive into all things Jersey. We're going to find out his origin story, how he started into Bravo, how he started into social media. And
I cannot wait to watch it.
It's going to be fun. And then at the end of the pod, you guys, like I said, we're going to do a little Mother's Day. We're going to have a little Mother's Day chat, but we're saving it till the end because I promise you, anytime I talk about Mother's Day, even saying it makes me emotional. I don't know what, it's just, to me, Mother's Day is like the most important day. It really is. It's more important than motherhood? Nothing. Right?
What's the hardest job? Hardest and best job.
Yeah. It's a big job, that's for sure. Okay, did you hear about the new shows?
I did hear about the new shows.
And how do you feel about them? Great new shows for me. What do you think?
So there's 4 new shows that Bravo announced.
Right.
The first one is The Real Housewives of Rhode Island.
Yes.
I am very excited about it because it's not a big town. It's our big city. It's a small town.
Well, Rhode Island is the smallest state. I mean, it's teeny, dinky.
Yeah.
So I'm sure everybody knows everybody in Rhode Island.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. The next one is The Ladies of London. Is it rebooted? Are there new people?
They're rebooting it. I don't know if they're going to bring back Caroline Stansberry. I mean, it would only make sense given the fact that Dubai is no longer with us. God rest its soul. But I think she's a better fit for Ladies of London. Did you used to watch it?
Ladies of London was so good. Everything was good.
I know. I mean, Ladies of London was a good show. And I really kind of feel like it'll be fun now to go back and almost like get an update on it. I wonder if they're going to use the same people, or at least some of them.
Hopefully, because we know what happened with New York, and that was a flop for most of us.
Yeah.
The next show is The Persian Valley with Reza, MJ, and Gigi Golnesa.
Yes.
I'm excited for that. Is it on Bravo or is somebody else? I don't know.
No, it's Bravo.
Okay. Good. Well, because
maybe Peacock. I'm pretty sure Bravo.
Reza speaks a lot about it on Jeff Lewis. So, he said I can't talk about it. So I knew things were happening. But
speaking of Jeff Lewis, what's happening over there?
So Megan, who used to be his ride or die, and they broke up. And she's so.
Why did they break up?
Lots of things. She was I think she got really drunk or she was on mushrooms one night and she told Heather McDonald, nobody likes you in their group. The chumps, the Jeff Lewis followers call themselves the chumps.
Right. I know that.
And Heather and Megan came together and now they're very good friends because Jeff burns his bridges with, they say it's mostly women.
So she was the one that told Heather that Jeff was talking shit about her?
He said everybody. She said everybody in our group doesn't like you. This was at Kelly Dodd's place in Palm Desert.
How long ago was this?
About over a year ago.
Well, I mean, haven't her and Jeff been on the outs for quite a long time?
Heather?
Yeah. Heather and Jeff, right?
Yeah, but it happened after that. They were good at this point. So this is when it first started to crumble.
Hold on. What the fuck are you talking about? What was the big earring fiasco? And then she decided that he was horrible and that they were never really friends and their relationship seemed severed at that point.
And they were friends for a long time, even before.
Right. So they have a coming back together?
No. So Krista Lamas is friends with Jeff Lewis. Heather McDonald was at Krista's house and borrowed some earrings. And
I know.
And then she went on the trip where she saw Teresa, Kelly Dodd, and all them. And then she lost one of the earrings in the sand. There's a video of her.
Right. I know. Yes, I remember.
What? Okay. So
I remember all of this. Yes.
Jeff took Krista's side in it and they doubled down saying these are real earrings. And so Heather said,
and then she found out that they were like $40 earrings from Revolve, right?
And now they're sold out on Revolve.
Of course they are. So that was the big break over that, right?
Jeff and Heather. So that hadn't happened yet. Megan came at Heather and said, nobody likes you. And so, but she was drunk, I think maybe on mushrooms. So anyways, their friendship ended, but now they're back together because Megan and Jeff.
Right. Now they have a common enemy.
Yeah. And Megan is sober over a year. So now she has a podcast called My Addiction and she's on it with her sister. And Andy just had her on as the bartender on Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, and is Jeff Lewis going to be pissed about that?
I don't think so because Megan is big also in she's an interior designer. She's huge. So she used to work with him on
Right.
flipping out
So he
and
has a level of respect for her that he's,
yeah,
well, that's
she looks
good.
great. She looks really good. So anyways, that's something. And okay, and then the last Bravo new show that's coming out, which we talked about a few weeks, is called My Wife Swap or Wife Swap.
Wife swap. Yeah, which that's what we now know that Melissa and Joe are definitely doing. But did you hear, or did you see Teresa on stage? She was at some event and she was like, "Oh, you'll never believe what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ready to film." And she was like, and I don't know if she is saying it just to pretend like they've got something going. You know what I mean? Like they've got something hot in the works, or I mean, who knows? Maybe they're giving an episode to Joe and Melissa and one to Teresa and Louie to just kind of keep them appeased. And
I haven't heard anything about Teresa and Louie. I did hear that Emily and Shane.
oh, I could see. I feel like they'd be a good wife swap couple. Shane, he's a kooky little duck.
Yeah.
He's funny though. Yeah. So yeah, the Heather McDonald thing is getting a lot. It's like it's all over the place. Well, because Teresa has brought Heather's name back into the circle of Bravo life because she was talking shit about her because Heather reported the fact that the same thing that we all talked about, the $3.3 million tax lien. Heather was talking about it. And because they were on that trip and Louis bought them lunch, she thinks that she owes her like a lifetime of loyalty. And, you know, Heather's supposed to be the only one that doesn't talk about it. What's the, you know,
Her job. She's a podcaster and she was just stating facts. And so, yeah, now Kelly Dodd is teaming with Teresa and coming after Heather McDonald now about it also.
Kelly Dodd, she's a tough one for me because there's a side of me that really enjoys Kelly.
Same.
I really do kind of like Kelly.
Her big mouth.
Yeah, but I just it annoys me that she is what's running cover for Teresa.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Have you listened to Teresa on her pod?
No, I don't.
I know you don't, but I'm
Right.
telling you, and I'm just and everyone that's on the fence about Teresa, do yourself a solid and go listen to her last pod with her youngest daughter. The poor woman, she is just, it feels like it's painful for her to speak. Stringing a sentence together feels like so much work. Poor thing.
Yeah,
Trying not to burp.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking this French, French market sparkling bubbly lemonade.
Trader Joe's. Yum.
Yeah, don't love it, and it's making me burp. So you're welcome. The Valley reunion happened. Andy said it was heavy. I can only imagine.
Yeah, the seat. Jax was one of the first ones. He was the first one next to Andy, right?
Well, the thing is everybody, I mean, except Zach and
Michelle. No, not Michelle.
I wonder how long I'd have to sit here before it would come to me.
Yeah, it's
A
not.
lesbian.
Yeah, I know. I can't. It's not going to come. It's not coming from me. I couldn't even remember her name last week.
Oh, God. Horrible. Anyway, also, I just thought about, just now, this is how fast my mind works. I just thought, is that because I'm 53? And then I thought, you're about to be 53. You've got a birthday coming up.
I do.
Today is the day after Nikki's. She's May 21st. You're May 22nd.
Yeah.
Hair mavens. So anyway, what the fuck were we saying?
We're trying to talk about the
53. Again, it's happening.
Yeah. So the lineup for the Valley has Brittany and Jax.
Aside from the hair guy, Zach, and the lesbian whose name we can't remember. Fuck, it's really bugging me.
Let me look.
Everybody's in a really kind of juicy place. I mean, there's really like no bad seats, is what I'm saying. Like everybody up there has some heavy shit happening in their life. All of them.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't matter what page you turn on with the Valley, it's a juicy storyline.
It's so good.
Everybody, it's like, that time in your life. I remember it. It's like your starter marriage.
Aiden, what do you need? Come here. Are you done?
No, I forgot.
What do you forgot what?
You forgot you were in here.
Yeah. When already done. Wow. Okay. Anyways,
wow, his voice has really dropped. It's full man. I mean, did you hear that? I mean, I know you hear it all the time, but wow, that sounded so like he sounded like a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
He'll be 30 in just the blink of an eye. I can't believe I have a 30-year-old. It's insane.
Yeah, that is
insane. The Valley reunion was heavy, but speaking of heavy, what about Kyle Richards' daughter and the Ozempic, making her lose her hair? I'm very confused about this. And not so much about the Ozempic making her lose her hair, but just why she's on Ozempic to begin with. I don't understand that. Am I like a Karen about that? Is that me being a Karen?
Because she was
I don't understand why like we just default to Ozempic now. We don't even we don't try natural things. Why are we choosing to does she have a weight issue? Is she pre-diabetic? It seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I was surprised to see it. And what did she say? I'm losing my hair, but she wasn't going to stop doing Ozempic either, even with her hair loss.
I'm losing my hair. Yeah, I don't know. That might be, when stuff like that happens, that is your body giving you a message that it doesn't like something, right? You're supposed to have hair.
Right.
If you feel like you're out of shape or need to shed a few pounds, work on it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. You guys, what do you think about Kyle's daughter taking Ozempic? Do you think, how old is she? 22 or something? She's young.
20 something.
Yeah, she's so young. But anyway, leave a comment, you guys, and let us know if you're down with Ozempic before as a first choice, right? To weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've never seen her daughters with any type of weight problem. Have you?
None. No.
I think that's why I was so taken by it, because it's not like, we've followed her daughter's weight loss journey or seen her struggle with her weight at all.
Of course, right?
So now is it just maintenance for her daughter? You know what I mean? Like maybe that's why they do it. I like the way I look now. So, they do that. They're sneaky, those little fuckers. They do it with Botox too.
I was just going to say they start Botox before they need it.
My daughter came home one day and she was like, "Oh, Carly, around a lot of people that get a lot of Botox." And she was like, "No, Mom, it's preventative."
Preventative, right.
Preventative. I'm like, what? You're going to buy that shit? I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody tells me. No, you do not need Botox in a preventative way.
You know what the new other thing is? These girls, I do spray tans and they're coming to me with these tan lines and they're leaving school. It is the end of the year, but they said, "Oh, I left school today at noon because the UV rays were a 9. So they're checking the UV rays and going to lay out in the sun,
so that they can get maximum damage.
Yeah. And they have I'm like, oh goodness, just do spray tan from here on out.
100%. It's once you see those pictures of your skin, I don't know what those special pictures where you can see the damage right behind your skin.
Right.
And sorry, but you can't exfoliate that stuff.
They don't know this. They don't know this, right? We used to do it with baby oil. Heather Dexter, 8th grade graduation day, put on Crisco oil. And if you look back at the picture, she came to the graduation fried.
8th grade graduation. I can picture Heather Dexter's 8th grade graduation dress, hair, the whole bit.
Yeah.
I can picture that picture of you at our high school graduation. Whose shoulders were you on?
I was on Ryan Lawson's shoulders on the front of on the front of the dispatch, with my gown and
I know.
I'm
Isn't that
glad.
wild?
It is wild. Oh, such a good time to be young.
Such a good time to be young.
Ah,
I'm going to be with so many of those monkeys next week at that wedding.
I
I mean,
know.
isn't it wild that Paul and I are going to be in that wedding together? And Dave Method, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. There's just so much love there. You know what I mean? It's just Donnie will be there. It's Lisa. It's just like a love fest. Speaking of love fest, what do you think about Love Hotel?
I don't love it. It's everything
You don't love the Love Hotel?
I don't. I've watched 1.5 episodes. I fell asleep during the second, but it's everything I thought it would be. And I don't. I love watching Shannon, Shannon and her
Shannon, I could watch.
forever.
I'm telling you, she's great TV.
Yeah, she really is. And Luann and those hats
And
and
and also
sexy.
the darling.
Uh-huh.
The darling. And the guys don't even know what to make of her.
And a lot of them don't even know about Bravo or anything. So it's great.
What about Ashley saying that guy doesn't even come up to Luann's navel? And what about the fact that wacko jacko had the nerve to tell the other dude that he thought that working out with Luann the next morning after their date was inappropriate? What?
Yeah,
Did you see that part?
I did. And wasn't someone claiming her as her?
Yes, him.
Yeah.
The guy was like, he went on one date with her. They had a kiss. She said she didn't feel any chemistry, but he thought that the fact that just, them going on that date meant that they were betrothed forever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm really into it.
You know what I was thinking about Love Hotel though is it could be a Bravo staple. It really could because there's Bravo celebrities that are always single.
Right. Most of them are.
Somebody's always single. So the Love Hotel could just be open for business.
And I love that because it gives them another franchise, another show to be on.
It gives them another show. And honestly, I don't know what the deal with. I thought it was a pretty decent pool of guys for them to choose from for a dating show.
Yeah.
And at least it didn't feel like The Bachelor to me where they,
no,
it seemed pretty like low key. They were having real conversations. What about that guy that told Shannon about how his wife died of leukemia? And Shannon was so taken back.
I know.
Shannon. I know.
Actions. They're the greatest.
I'm telling you something. She is too much for me. Can you imagine being in a relationship with Shannon Bedore? I just feel like that would be such a fucking full-time job.
As we've watched.
All right, so you're not going to watch the third episode?
I don't think so. It's not for me. It's not good enough.
All right. What about Atlanta? How you feeling about that? Because that's where we're going. Flying into Atlanta, Porsche has made a mess. And you know who flew into Atlanta was Cynthia Bailey. She flew into Atlanta this week to clean up all of the mess that Porsche made.
Yeah, she
because I'll tell you, Miss Angela is not going to let her live it down. No,
I think Cynthia is doing a great job as a friend this season.
I mean, she's putting in more work than any friend ever has. Because let's face it, she's a peach at heart. She's a housewife.
Yeah,
she knows how to do it.
Yeah. So didn't it start out with them talking about who's at the table? Cynthia.
Okay, speaking of tables, sorry, I got to bring this up. I want you to right now close your eyes. Imagine Portia's confessional this week, and usually. Now look at the silver hunk of lava coffee table.
Oh, okay. All I see is her outfit. Wasn't she draped in beads?
Well, she was draped in beads, but you didn't see the coffee table next to her. Looks like a big piece of magma that fell out of a volcano, but it's hot. It's like fire silver.
No, but I will rewatch.
I'm telling you something. It is. I can't even look at Porsche when just can't stop staring at that coffee table. What in the hell? Somebody decided to buy that. Somebody looked and thought, oh, I want to have that. I don't know who that person. I don't know how that person's mind works. Was that Porsche? I don't know. Anyway.
Well, it starts out and Cynthia's at the table, and the best thing that Cynthia said is something, anything that's open after midnight, they're talking about, because of the show, or because of last week when they were all drunk.
Right.
Angela heard them talking, and it was
after hours.
After hours. And Cynthia says the only thing that is open after midnight are legs, jail, and the ER.
Yeah. And she's not wrong.
Yeah. So funny.
I'm standing up because I have a cramp in my leg. No, I know. She's right. I mean, she's right. Nothing good ever happens,
after midnight.
Some good things happen between midnight and 2, but after 2, it's all bad. Yeah. So Angela is still fired up about what she heard. And
of course.
She is telling anyone that will listen.
Porsche was first denying what she said, and I don't remember. She remembered.
And then she owned it. And
right.
Then, yeah, I said it.
Later on in the episode.
And then she was like, I don't even know if I should be apologizing for it.
Yeah.
Because, should she really apologize for it? I'm sure you think she was sitting there in some diabolical way, really planning to screw Charles Barkley? I doubt it. It was just a throwaway comment.
Exactly. Drunk Hennessy comment. That's what she blamed it on.
No, I've never had a drop of Hennessy in my life. I don't even know what it tastes like.
Is it a whiskey?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Somebody tell us, what is Hennessy? I know we should know this, but honestly, I've never had it. I don't think I've ever had a drink made with, I've never had it.
I don't think it's something we should know.
We shouldn't know it. Everybody else knows it. But
not everybody.
There's like songs about it.
Is there?
Yeah. Isn't there?
Well, yeah. There's songs about Fireball too.
I've tasted Fireball.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I loved it. You put it in the freezer when it was
do you remember right around the time that we were turning 21, that whole line of shots, they were all like pervy sounding, like a blowjob and a purple hooter. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
That was wild. I remember thinking, what? Do I have to order that? Like, I was such a fucking prude. I remember being embarrassed to order that at the bar.
Well, embarrassed. Just what about how you have to drink it? Remember last week in Nashville for Porsche's birthday, how they were drinking.
They were doing it this week too. That's how you have to do the shots. That Kelly loves to do armless shots. Is that what you call them? Armless?
Yeah.
I'm sure at this point my mouth, I don't know.
Oh, and the other great line was, I can tell you use your mouth a lot from the stretch marks around your mouth.
Oh, yes. She said, you've got a lot of mileage on your mouth.
Yes, I can tell from the stretch marks. That's amazing.
I don't think we have a shot glass.
Are you going to try?
I was going to try.
I
know. I was going to try. I got to be very careful. You want to hear the funniest thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
always.
These teeth of mine I'm about to go get, these are just temporaries. They've been, I've had them in for quite a few months now. And I need to go and get my permanent teeth. And I haven't had a problem. This wedding is coming up, and this tooth, I can feel it. It's starting.
Oh, no.
But I don't have my appointment scheduled yet, and they schedule like 3 weeks out. So when we're done today, that's on my list. I have to call and make my appointment to get my permanents put in.
Are they individually put in?
No, they're not. No, some of them are individual, some of them aren't. But I'm just absolutely terrified, and I'm being so tender with my teeth because what happens if I lose the tooth the morning of the wedding? I just keep having this vision of me, and every wedding picture is just a closed mouth smile because I'm fully missing a tooth right here. I'm just telling you, crazier shit's happened to me, and I wouldn't be surprised.
So this tooth right here is fake. at the back of it, it's dark. So when we go into like the haunted mansion or anything, you know, it's dark. The blackout lights,
Right.
it's black. And you know how I got this cracked? I was on First Street in Gilroy my senior year in Carrie Gillespie's car, and I'm in the back seat. And remember the foreign exchange student from New Zealand, the basketball Kennedy?
Yes.
With Scott Chelsvik, they're in behind us, and Brett Bonino. And I looked through the back window to yell to them. Carrie Gillespie took off. My head went cracked in half.
Oh, honey, that's horrible. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, when you breathe the cold air. But anyways.
You want to know what else just popped into my mind when you said First Street in Gilroy? I have, for some reason, I thought of it the other day. I remember you and I think it was like our sophomore year in high school, and I don't know how this happened, but you and I were on bikes. We must have left like over by our house, and we were driving, I don't know where the hell we were driving to be honest, but we were right by 7-Eleven on First Street and with the gas station across the street. Right. We were coming up on that. There were those doctor's offices that used to be there on the corner. And we were talking about sex. And I don't think I had had sex. And I remember you said to me, don't do it. I'm like, don't do it. You won't like it. Something like that. But I very vividly remember you telling me don't do it. Yeah, we're talking about Atlanta. We got fully sideswiped.
Yeah, bring it around. Can we just talk for a second about the Cha-Cha's birthday?
Okay.
Or the dog birthday?
Amen. Holy shit. What about, I feel like that poor dog, maybe I feel like I want to call Dog Protective Services or something, but I think to have a dog in a salon for 9 hours is
getting eyelashes.
Torture.
The dog is getting eyelashes.
It's torture. Listen, it would be absolute fucking torture for me to be at a salon. It's a torture for me to be at not working. I mean, I work at a salon. I love my salon. I'm talking about like as a client. I don't like sitting in, it's why I don't get my nails done. I haven't got my nails done in 100 years because I just can't stand that time.
Same. So the reason that she says that she colors this dog is because wasn't it stolen before and she got it back? So now she wants to she colors the dog's hair. So in case it's ever stolen,
someone will know whose that dog is. I really doubt that someone's going to keep the coloring up. So it'll probably fade out and turn into a normal looking dog again. Poor fucking dog's probably praying to God it gets stolen.
Right?
God, get me away from this lunatic.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
You spent a pretty penny on that party, I'll tell you that.
I know.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
Then you've got Shamia. She's on her surrogacy journey. She meets the surrogate.
Sweetheart.
And then Britt's family's moving out of their family home. And there's a lot of female energy there.
Yeah.
Get me out of that house. No, thank you. I can do without that level of drama. And what about the mother? What about that fucking mother? Pissed off at her ex-husband? Not her ex-husband, but her dead husband.
Right.
Dead because he's dead. He left me, lady. He died.
He died, girl.
Not like he said, I'm going out for milk and didn't come home.
Right.
He died. Pretty sure he had no say. And then it's time for the Bailey Q.
These Bailey Qs, I don't know.
I don't even really understand the Bailey Q.
They always look so hot too. You know, it's hot weather there. And
it's hot weather, but meanwhile, they're having tornadoes and downpours. It's such a different climate over there. You know what I mean? Because everybody is hot. You can see it. But outside, there's thunder and lightning, and it looks like the sky's going to fall.
Yeah. Cynthia and her BBQs. So
what happens at a Bailey Q?
Well,
didn't they used to be like a model search?
I don't remember that.
What happens at a Bailey Q?
I think it's just to come, let's barbecue at my house. And then of course someone brings drama, but
like a Bailey Q as in a barbecue.
Right.
Oh, got it.
one was because of Juneteenth, or
Yes. Well, it makes sense. They had the Bailey queue. She said they used to be on the 4th of July, so now they are she's just
celebrating.
yeah.
Right.
That I
Yeah.
dig it. And then you've got Shamia who came in her full regalia. I love it.
I love Shamia too.
I mean, I am really kind of here for Shamia this season. She was bugging me a little in the beginning, but I'm here for it. And I think she did herself a real solid with that. It's Portia's birthday. I'm still singing that stupid song.
Yeah, I love her too.
What about when the fortune teller, what were they calling her? Called her, what did they call a prophet?
Mm-hmm.
They called her a prophet. What about when the prophet is saying to Angela, your husband's not settled, he's not happy. What? It looks like he wants a Porsche. I thought that was hilarious.
Crazy town.
Now, I don't know if there was how much pre-production went into that prophet's appearance,
Right.
but either a whole lot went down or she's the real deal because she seemed pretty on point to me.
I think she's the real deal.
Yeah, she seemed pretty authentic. I mean, I'd like to have her at a party. How do we get her number?
When is Phaedra showing up?
Next week, sweetie.
It said, okay.
Miss Phaedra Parks is joining the party.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. I also liked when Shamia went and had her sit down with Angela, and she said, I don't know why you're coming at me. I was just laughing. I was just having a kiki. Hell, I even laughed at my uncle's funeral. Did you see that?
I mean, they are.
She says, she goes, they dressed him in church, dressed him like a preacher, and God never spent a day of his life in church or something like that.
They are so funny. And the way that they speak to each other.
And I know. It's hilarious.
Their slang is great. And the way they dress and oil themselves up. And they're just, I love it.
As soon as the weather warms up, I'm gonna really incorporate oil into it has inspired me a little bit because they look juicy. And I mean, who doesn't want to look juicy?
Getting your on.
Okay, so over on the Valley this week, everybody leaves the Valley and heads to Santa Barbara, which can't really say I blame them because God, is it beautiful?
So beautiful. And the house that Jesse rented was amazing.
Was clearly out of his budget.
Exactly. You think he pays for this or production? You think it's him?
Well, I think it depends. I know that sometimes cast members do pay for their own parties, but I also know that sometimes production pays for them. I think it's on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, I wonder.
But I do know that Jesse is at least trying to put it off like he's the one that got the house.
And the cases of Prosecco.
Right, all the cases of. He said before they were even done, I've had 2 bottles of Prosecco.
I know, 2
Can
bottles.
I just tell you, if I had even a single bottle of Prosecco by myself, I would be asleep. I couldn't be standing, let alone filming and having a conversation. Something about champagne takes me down.
I'm a boozy floozy. Well, I was. I still haven't had a drink since January 11th.
Boozy floozy is so cute. I've never heard that. I'm a boozy floozy.
Well, I'm German and Irish, and I can bring it down, but 2 bottles, come on.
2 bottles.
And so, yeah, they all show up to the house, and he's giving everybody a white flag saying, you cannot enter this house until you raise your white flag. No drama is being entered. And Michelle just walks past him like, fuck you.
Fuck you. Yeah. And did you see when she was having lunch with her new honey? Or breakfast with her new honey?
With the Ramona eyes? His eyes. He's very Ramona.
I know. And then he says, well, what do you think's the worst that can happen? And she says, well, with Jesse, anything can happen.
I know.
Zach and Janet have lunch together before they even leave, and they go into the whole thing expecting nothing good to come out of it with Janet.
And it does come out good with Jan.
And yeah, and they invited everybody. I mean, what's her face? Michelle clearly didn't get her way. They invited everybody but Jax, who's can't be there because he's in a mental health facility.
And on the way there, he's rage texting Brittany, and she says he's in therapy for 3 hours, and then they give him a 15-minute break, and then he's rage texting her, and they show us
Rage texting.
you took my son from me. Why aren't you visiting me? Why aren't you sending me a care package? She said, you've been there for 3 days.
Yeah, he said, you stole my job. I mean, the guy is so spun out. He thinks he's smarter than everybody else. So he's trying to, you know what I mean, work 3 steps ahead of everybody. So
But we know exactly what he's doing because he's such an idiot. He doesn't think correctly. When she was on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked her if he was sober. She said, sober, you know, kinda.
He said, I can't confidently say yes.
And she said, he's still Jax.
Yes, he's still Jax because the root of the problem is still there. The root of the problem isn't the drugs. The root of the problem is his relationship with himself. He could go to a million different rehabs. Nothing will work until the inside of you changes, until your perception changes, until the way you see yourself, until you change your relationship with your self-worth. That's when your spirit,
the real work is done.
Yeah, I say all the time that it doesn't matter even if you're sober, like not on drugs or not on alcohol, if your spirit's not sober. If your spirit is still under the delusion that causes the pain, then you're screwed.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, it's possible to come out of it, but Jax has a big fucking hike. It's going to be a big hike.
I told you he's on tour doing his show, and his show is about him showing red flags to women on not to date a guy like him. Give me a break.
So basically he's giving up all of his secrets. So if you see a guy sneak into the kitchen and he's probably making plans with his girlfriend.
Right.
I mean, is that what he's doing? Like, here's a red flag. He's giving away his playbook. What a dummy. Then they go to race cars and they all think that they're gearing up to go race real cars, and it's just remote control.
Right.
Which honestly looks so fun. And I feel like they all accidentally found themselves having fun together.
It was, yeah, everybody loved
Everybody's like, oh my God, we can have a good time together.
And did you see that when Luke was doing his, Jesse grabbed his car out of the race and didn't let him finish?
Because Jesse is a child.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Jesse is a child at the same degree that like Jax is. They are just the youngest souls. They're just sad little men.
Yeah, so he did that to Luke, and I thought, but yeah, so they all.
I gotta tell you, Luke is growing on me.
Especially when that sound bath lady came, or their healer.
Yeah.
I really like when he stood up and said, all of you are turning into my family.
And I was so sweet when he found himself choked up. It's just,
yeah,
him being vulnerable. I thought it was sweet.
He's a great partner to Kristen.
What about when Ding-a-ling Jesse goes up to the girls and tries to give them shit for harassing his former girlfriend, now friend? And they're like, what are you talking about? She was harassing Michelle, the mother of your child, Ding-a-ling.
Right.
And then he goes, oh, the mother of my child? You mean the one that screwed around on me while we were married?
And Janet says, if I was with you, I would cheat on you too.
And I was like, yes. I mean, that was so great.
I liked Janet this episode.
I know, Chris, that's two episodes on the trot that we like Janet.
Right?
I know. If there's like a third, I might have to say I like Janet.
Yeah.
I've crossed over. And then Janet and Zach sit down. They have their little heart to heart. She wants an apology. He cries. They have a moment. we don't know if it'll last.
Right. It was good. It was a good talk, I
See,
thought.
I just panicked. This just tapped my tooth and I just felt literal dread. Here's the problem. If it happens between now and the wedding, I doubt they can get me in.
Oh.
I just have I can't even think about it. Anyway.
Yeah, don't create it.
Oh, then we cut to the next day. Kristen brings in that spiritual, what do we call her?
Yeah, right. I don't even.
Spiritualist.
Yeah.
Brings in the spiritualist. Everyone takes turns releasing energy. Brittany says goodbye to what? Resentment. Michelle embraces joy. Jesse won't participate.
And walks out. Yeah, and Brittany can't stop laughing. She can't take it seriously, or I don't know. She just thinks it's funny.
She does. Yeah. I used to be that way. If I
Yeah.
used to be in a situation like that,
I know that. I see you, and I see you doing that.
I don't do it anymore.
No,
but I used to.
Being younger.
Oh yeah, that was you were asking me to sit way too close with myself. So thank you. Then and then just when you think things can't get any messier, Jax rolls in with that fucking crazy video where didn't he look like a lunatic?
Such an idiot.
It's so hard. I mean, I can't even believe I'm still talking about Jax Taylor after all these years.
I know.
I mean, honestly, if you really think about that, Jax Taylor he could have done so much more with his everything. If he's done this, he's still on TV. Think about how long Vanderpump Rules, when did that show start? I mean, a long time ago. A long ass time ago. So he had that run. If he didn't screw over Lisa, he could have stayed on that show until the very end, and then he could have rolled. I mean, he did spearhead this show.
Right. We wouldn't have had the Valley, but yeah. And he was still messed up. But you're saying if he was doing good and taking care of himself.
Yeah. Jax could have had a through the roof kind of career. He's managed to squeak this much of a career out of being so out of his fucking head crazy.
Right. We would have
totally addicted to drugs. I mean, imagine if he was like, a different version of himself, how much he could do with that, because he's a magnetic guy. Just keeps fucking tripping himself up. Are you shaking your shoulders? No. I'm like, what are we? Okay. All right. And then the episode ends with that gratitude circle.
Good episode. Love the Valley. The Valley and Summerhouse.
The Valley and Summerhouse, right?
The two greatest, right?
Isn't it funny? I mean, the housewives, I don't know.
I know. At least we have all these other shows too to look forward to.
No, truthfully. And maybe it'll flop, because it used to be the stable used to be full of housewives, and then there were just a couple of these peppered. Maybe it's time for a flip. Maybe you have these other shows and maybe just a couple housewives.
Exactly.
What about this episode? Everybody can't stop talking about Lexi and Jesse, and then suddenly they walk in the front door together, and Paige and Lindsay are there, and they are just blown away.
Shocked.
Which kind of shocked me, to be honest, because we've seen every single one of them in up and down relationships. I mean, Paige's relationships have been pretty stable, but Lindsay's have been up and down. She's been broken up and back together 100 times with almost every boyfriend she's ever had.
How many sandwiches did you make me?
Yeah. I mean, God, I can't tell you how many times back in the beginning, Mike and I broke up, and that was it. Never again. And then, everybody's like, oh, they just walked in that party together.
Here we are.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
all of them. And Carl.
I just don't understand why everyone is so shocked out of their mind that these two, I mean, clearly they had a very strong connection in the beginning, and a strong connection, you don't always feel all the time. So when you have that initial spark, people know that there's something there, and so they're not going to not fully explore it.
Yeah, but probably because they were more involved with Jesse talking to all of them about it. and they're older.
Well, how can
now.
Jesse help but talk to any of them about it? Even after that, what about when they all sat down and it's they're clearly giving it another go, and everyone decides that they need to have an opinion.
Well,
So
because they're more involved than before when the show first started. I think they're all more involved in it.
well, I'm telling you something, they don't need to be involved in someone else's relationship on such a granular level. So we're all really confused. So how did you get, so you're back together? So what happened? Well, who the fuck made them judge and jury?
And Sierra says to him when they're all talking about it, Sierra says, well, Jesse said that Lexi and I spoke about it. And then Sierra says, what are you, are you a, what did she say about?
So you're no longer a pathological liar or something. She just came at him so hard. You know what I mean? So it's almost not fair, because if clearly Lexi is a very young, impressionable girl. So if she has made a decision that they're going to give it another go, like the last thing she needs to do is have all these girls like, oh, he's a fucking asshole and da 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 da. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that relationship had a chance with so much outside noise and involvement.
Well, Sierra's pissed for her own reasons.
I think Sierra has been going through a lot of stuff off camera. I think there's a lot of stuff that's been going on in Sierra's family and personal life past the show that has kind of stressed her. So, I mean, you even heard her on this episode say, I'd like to be more forgiving. I'd like to give people more second chances. She says, she even said it, but I'm in my head. She even said, but I'm in my head. And so she's in her head about protecting herself. So she thinks she has to act a certain way. Sierra's in her head instead of her heart. She said, I want to be more forgiving. I would like to give people a second chance, but I keep going back into my head. You don't grow up here. This is where you get stuck because you know, analysis paralysis. Just go with your gut. You know what I mean? If you know someone's a good person, you can lean into them, even if they said something that you could have interpreted as wrong.
Like West.
Like West clearly has its own, everybody has their own history. Nobody's trying to fuck you over, right? Nobody's trying to hurt you. They're just trying to help themselves. It's not about you.
Right. You can't make assumptions is the first rule of the 4 agreement.
Yeah. You can't make an assumption that, you know, someone's trying to screw you over and then therefore they're an asshole. And just because you feel hurt, they're an asshole, right? People are so terrified of pain, but the truth is pain is a very important part of the process of growing. People think that they're supposed to live a life void of pain, that people in relationships are bad people if they hurt them, but really they're not. I mean, they're not.
But she's also reacting because Jesse, you know, told her, do not touch me, and he's doing all this shit to her. So she has a lot of shit that, you know, and he said, well, I only said to you that I would have tried to, you know, to be with her before West to make her feel better.
Yeah, I get it, but I don't think that what he was saying, he said to be a dick. I think it was just a fucking klutzy dude saying a klutzy thing, and I don't think it was diabolical. I don't think he was trying to hurt her.
I don't know. He's very.
I think he was trying to hurt.
No, not hurt her, but he's very careful with his words.
Well, I think he's learning that he fucking has to be very careful with his words in a room full of women who are sitting there ready to pick every fucking one apart.
Yeah, they're very smart, those 3 girls.
I mean, they are on his ass. They are not going to give him any slack. So he's feeling it. He is feeling the pressure.
He totally is. So yeah, so they're all discussing that they're okay and they're giving it another try. And
the front door is fixed. Did you see that?
Yeah.
When Amanda got there, did you see Amanda's face?
Her face. Yeah.
And then the talk was about the talk is about Carl's sperm. And I was just laughing thinking Kyle. Kyle's sperm, 159,000 sperm. I,
I
I'm good.
know.
The thought of that many Kyles, even the possibility that Kyle has just that much potential. Yeah. Gross.
So
And
fun.
then what about Carl? Speaking of Carl, and he signed the lease. He signed the lease. Holy shit.
$10,000
So,
a month rent lease on a soft bar.
dude, I
Dude,
need I
keep
need to
your
know. I
pop
need an
up.
update. I
Be a
need an
pop up,
update.
right? He needs to just do the pop ups.
I need an update on whether or not they're open. I need to know if they're making money because I don't know. That's his job, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know how much capital he got to start that, but I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
I know. That
I'm
was,
gonna send my Ryan to do a little recon mission. You know, she lives in Brooklyn.
yep.
I am.
A mocktail.
He has been talking about it. He's been giving like the specific location. I'm gonna have her walk by and see if it's open.
Please do. When he
I'll
was,
report back.
yeah, everybody's eyes were like, what?
And the fact that he signed such a long lease.
Yeah. Good
In
luck.
fact, he
Carl.
even opened his mouth and said the word bankruptcy. Well, if we were to go bankrupt, I'm thinking, oh my God,
Yeah. Good luck.
just don't say it. Um, and what about Jesse when he was with what's her name? And he sneezed and he said, sorry, I get turned on. I sneeze when I get turned on.
When they were in bed.
I
Right?
laughed my ass off.
I know.
I see how that could happen. It must activate something that, like, I don't know, sparks his nose or something. His nose gets an erection or something. And then what about the fact that Jesse told all the guys that he ended up having a 3-hour powwow with not just Lexi, but Lexi and her mom and her sister.
Right. They came to
I'm sorry to tell you that's too much for me.
So they all came to the apartment and they all had to discuss the relationship
It's too much for me.
with her sister and mother. And then they all went out to a club and he's grinding on Lexi in front of the mom. And then he said, oh, they're up for a good time. That after the bar closed at 2, the mother and sister went to hear a DJ after hours.
Yeah, they're fucking animals.
This is right.
I could never, ever do that.
No,
I have to have a nap if I plan on staying out till 10 o'clock.
I hear that.
Yeah. So Sierra has just recently said that her and Jesse, that the whole public is misreading their relationship and they're fully platonic. And she said she doesn't give a shit if Lexi comes back.
Well, I saw pictures of Jesse and Sierra at Stagecoach, but they're not together. They're
No. What
Yeah.
about, did you see the preview for next week?
I did not.
You didn't?
No, because sometimes I don't like to watch that.
Oh,
I like to
well,
see the
I can't wait because next week she turns on Sierra.
Ooh,
Lexi turns on Sierra.
good luck with
So Sierra is seeing that Lexi is, because Sierra's been writing hard for her.
she has.
She fully has. And I think the tables turn.
Wow. Yeah, I don't sometimes like to watch. And next on, I like to be surprised.
I know, but I think at the very end, you can just tell what a spot she's in because at the end, Jesse is so rattled because I think him and Sierra, I think that's why they're both really rattled because they were such genuine friends. And
Of course.
yeah, and they're just so bothered by it. And I think Jesse genuinely adored Sierra.
Well, the threesome of them with Wes, Sierra, and Jesse was a great ride.
And to be completely honest, I do believe that if West wasn't that if that didn't happen the way it happened last year, I think he would have made a move on her.
Me too. And I think I would have liked them together.
Yeah. Yeah. But at the very end,
when they were sitting at the beach
oh
talking.
yeah, but at the very end when they were sitting at the beach, she said, you could tell she's just at the end of her rope with everything. She goes, I've got like one weekend left in me.
Right. She says, I'm over you. And he said, well,
But like she's just over like all of it. Like she just wants out of there.
right. He said, well, I should have probably said to you, we need to change our dynamic instead of saying, don't touch me. You know, he just dealt with all of it wrong, which,
Right.
yeah, of course.
But in the next breath, if it was somebody else, they would have been totally fine with it. You know what I mean? It's all, you never know. I
Well,
mean,
but
some people would be offended by that and some people wouldn't. Not everybody's offended by the same thing. You know what I mean?
yeah, but they were in such a different relationship where they lay on each other, and for him to all of a sudden say, don't touch me, she knew what was happening. It's like,
But when he said that, I could read that he was like half kidding. Like, I have a crazy girlfriend now who's gonna have a deal with it. That don't touch me because I'm sorry. I didn't read that as
no, because he didn't laugh. He knew it. I didn't take it that way. He didn't laugh. He didn't know how to deal with it.
No.
Because Lexi was watching.
Maybe he is more insecure. I'm sure he is than he presents.
Yeah, he said, I was in love once in my life with his childhood girlfriend, and his best buddy slept with her. So, of course, that altered his trust. His trust
right. And his confidence. And then he had a ball lopped off. Right?
Yeah.
I think having a ball lopped off is a lot for most guys.
I would think.
I mean, it wouldn't be a big deal to me, but I think there's a lot of guys that would really kind of have a hard time wrapping their head around that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're so attached to their manhood. That tangles between their legs. Anyway, all right, love. We are going to dive into a few questions and comments that we got. Michelle Kramer, 7285 says, actually do hair. I used to be a cosmetologist for years and years. So I'll let you answer that.
Yes, I'm a hairdresser first and foremost, 23 plus years.
And I am not a hairdresser, but I do work at a salon. I work at 901 Salon, and I also have I used to have long hair like Christy's, and when I went short, I cut it myself, and I have cut my own hair for years. At this point, my hair is like a dual effort between Rihanna, one of the co-owners of the salon, and myself. But I am not a stylist. What the fuck? I'm a salon mom. But no. But I could have been. But I could have been a stylist.
Did you and I have matching Dorothy Hamill haircuts when we were young? We did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. We also got a comment that I thought was very interesting. She says, Carol Roth 440 says, Lexington is a sweet girl. So Lexington is Lexi's actual name, apparently. Wow. According to Carol, and that she says, I think she's super young. I don't see them as a couple. And then she sent another message that said, I love Summerhouse too. So I don't know. Maybe that's Lexi's mom. I don't know. Lexington is the
Lexington. What a cute name.
Cute name. Super cute. Yeah. Okay. And then we have Diane Lee, 1028. She says, I do really like your podcast, but I get frustrated, Jen, when you talk over Christy all the time. You need to let her finish a thought. In this episode, you constantly cut her off.
I think, because you and I are the same energy, and your energy, it's also called Generally Speaking.
But also, we've been talking over each other our whole lives.
Right.
So it's probably not going to end anytime soon.
Maybe I have a little bell or something when I really need to get something out. I can go ding, ding,
ding. But I mean, don't you get your stuff out? Do I?
Sometimes I have to stop because I'm like, okay, let Jen speak. Because I feel like also you're a little smarter on, the way you word things. Like Jack's finding himself and this and da. So yeah, sometimes
I'm not. Feel free to talk over me whenever you want.
well, okay.
And then we have Stancy Talk. She says, are we all pretending that he actually rented that house? That it was not production? We're just going along with this because make believe, question mark, question mark.
See? Right? Who cares?
And then Sharon Moritz says, I chose 5 of them. Says, hi, beautiful girls. Love your show. So much love from Australia.
Ooh,
Hi, Sharon.
Vegemite.
Yes. And hi, Gavin. I promised Gavin I would give him a shout out. Okay, my love. Now for the most important part of the pod. And here I go. Such a wreck.
We're going to speak about motherhood.
If I can get through it.
You can do it.
I don't know.
Should I ask you second?
Yeah.
Okay, you asked me first.
Firstly, I want to know this. What are your Mother's Day plans?
Nathan, my oldest, is making me pizza. I want a huge salad. I want dessert, and I'm floating in the pool.
Love it.
I'm chilling.
So are you only going to be with one? Are all the kids going to be home?
All the kids will be with us, but Nathan used to work at a pizza place and knows how to make the dough, and he makes it.
So you guys are having an easy day at home.
Easy.
I love that.
Bathing suit all day.
Love it. We are going to brunch. Taylor and myself and Mike is driving us. We're going to brunch and then we're going axe throwing.
Oh, cool.
I have never done that. Have you done it?
No, I love that.
I am so excited to go axe throwing. So, yeah, I know. Fun, right? I'm looking forward to it. I'm obviously not seeing my mom this Mother's Day, but I'm going to be up there next weekend and she's going to go to the wedding with me. So
nice.
We'll do a little belated.
Yeah, I won't my mother either.
You're not going to see Barb?
No, I think she'll be with Tamra. I haven't asked her yet what she's doing.
Well, it's Sunday. All right, love. So motherhood. How old were you when you became a mom?
Ooh, okay. So I don't know. I know a lot of things, but Nathan's going to be 25 in June and I'm 53. So what is that? 53 minus.
Well, what year did you become a mom?
Oh, yeah. Easier than that, right?
Yes.
25 years I've been a mom. Stupid. Nathan's going to be 25. So
you're about to be, so take that away. So how old were you?
Okay. Yeah. So 25 minus 53.
No, 53 minus 25.
Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. Let me do this on my calculator.
Are you doing math on your phone right now?
Oh, I was in bonehead math. I was 28 years old.
Oh, wow.
Wow. I was right.
That's impressive.
Thank you for the girl who said don't have sex while we were in high school.
Yeah. I had Carly I was almost 23. I was technically 22. My birthday's March 21st. Hers is March 12th. So, yeah, she was born and then I turned 23 2 weeks later.
And how far apart are the girls?
Carly was born, Taylor was born 15 and a half months later.
Ooh, Irish twins.
And then, Ryan and Ryan was born and there's 18 months between her and Taylor.
Okay.
I had a miscarriage in between there. Yeah.
Wow.
No, fertile myrtle.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speaking of fertile myrtle, I went to the doctor the other day and she tested my hormones and she was like, well, from what you tell me, and I'm looking at your tests, but she goes, if I was you, I'd still stay away from the sperm.
Oh,
she goes, stay out of the line of sperm. And I'm like,
wow.
No, I'm telling you, it's because I'm pretty sure I was just meant to be a mother.
Wow.
So, all right, here's my question. What do you think is the hardest part of motherhood?
Ooh, having to let them go off and make their good choices that I've instilled in them. And then when they don't make the good choice as being an adult, you just have to let them, I guess.
Yeah.
But my second child, Aiden, gave me my gray hair when he was sophomore summer was
Brutal.
woo, brutal. And I'm the one, who deals with the stuff.
The kids stuff.
Mark gives good advice, but I help them get out of what they need to get out of, and
Right.
and teach them.
Right.
But I think that letting them go off and do what they do,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say for me, it is the hardest part. It's kind of similar because what you're talking about means that you have to wrestle with your own vulnerability. And that's the hardest part of motherhood for me, is how it constantly brings me back to my vulnerability, and how difficult it is to trust that they're going to be okay, and trust that they can do life without you, and trust that they are strong enough and smart enough, and that you're going to be okay. It's motherhood is not an easy gig.
It's our hardest job, but the most rewarding.
Well, it's also your greatest teacher. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Truthfully, I
big
know
time.
that I grew up thinking that parents, taught their kids everything, that's what you were there for, to teach your kids, teach your kids. No, really, you're just there to keep your kids alive. The real lessons come through your kids.
Right. It puts us in check.
And truthfully, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here today without the pressure of my kids. And all I ever wanted was to be a parent, the kind of parent that my kids could be proud of. And for a long time I was just phoning it in, right? For a long time I was really just phoning it in. And then and it's funny, I had a real kind of awakening not long ago about my relationship with my Carly, my oldest, who is fundamentally, even when she was born, she was like, anyone that saw her was like, oh, that's little Jenny. But Carly was the hardest for me. She gave me the most pushback. She was just stubborn in a way that the other ones weren't. She took so much more energy. And there was something that used to frustrate me. And I used to think, gosh, why can't you just be like your sisters, right? And what I came to realize is that my relationship with my Carly, I mean, I adored my daughter, but my relationship with my Carly changed when my relationship with myself changed.
Yes.
Because when I started loving myself, it allowed me to love my daughter in a way that I never had before, because it was that part of me that I saw in her that I didn't like.
Right.
And that frustrated me, and that I wanted to change because I didn't love myself. And so I didn't want her to be burdened with like my burdens and that stuff. And so I wanted her to be different. I wanted her to be like her sisters who weren't like that. Um, but anyway, and it's so amazing. And now I look at her and I'm able to just cherish and be so grateful for the parts of her that remind me of me, because that's just my magic living through her. And now I look at it and I feel like I'm so grateful that she has that in me, and that much of me lives through her, and that much of me colors who she is, because now I'm proud of me, and now I look at myself in a way that I never did before, and now I get to see it embodied in her. And
Right.
I just couldn't be more grateful.
Love it.
Ah.
I love it.
I just think the greatest thing in the world is my relationship with my kids. If I'm feeling down, honestly, all I have to do is look at our group text, our group chat, because it just is so sweet. And I am just so grateful that I have built the relationship with my girls. I say it all the time. I feel like the luckiest mom in the world, but I just feel so lucky. Oh, anyway, I knew this motherhood. I knew this Mother's Day conversation was going to get me. But it's just the most important thing. I mean, motherhood. My relationship with my mom, I mean, just so pivotal. Mothers matter. And even if you're not a mother by birth, it is the love that lives in your heart that makes you a mother. So, and look at you, Angel. You are such a good mother. I'm so proud of the way I watch you mother your kids. And mothers matter so much.
Yeah.
So, all the mothers out there and all the mothering hearts, and to all the hearts who struggle with their mothers, because I know that having a mom isn't always easy. Can sometimes bring us to our knees. But that's what love does. And that's what mothers are. And that's what they teach us, even when it doesn't feel like it, right?
Right.
Anyway,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. I'm so glad we got dressed up for it.
Get to Ross on a
Get to Ross. Trust me, I'm going to show up in that same outfit. I swear to you, I promise you, I'm going to go find that outfit.
Yeah,
Did you pop at Ross too?
No, this was a hand-me-down from my girlfriend Ramelin, but yeah, these pants are great.
Anyway, my love, well, it's been my pleasure as always. Tell everybody where they can find you, babe.
Christy May's Garage on Instagram.
That's right. If you guys are in the South Bay of California and you need succulents, Christy is your girl. Hit her up. All right, my love. Well, I am going to go. And I mean, I feel like literally I'm going to record the pod with Joey in just a little while. And then it's the wedding bonanza. And then it is game on. So excited.
Yep. Me too.
All right, love bug. Well, I will see you very soon.
Yep.
All right. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Okay. Bye. Happy Mother's Day.
You too.
All right, everybody, that about does it for this episode of Generally Speaking. Thank you so much for being here. If you've been watching us on YouTube, please make sure you reach out and smash that subscribe button. If you've been listening on your favorite streaming platform, please make sure you give us a follow, leave us a 5-star rating or a comment. We would love that. If you'd like to collaborate or have a question you'd like answered on the pod, you can email at jennifer@jennifersnook.com. And if you'd like to find me on socials, you can find me on TikTok at This Is Generally Speaking or on Instagram at @TheJenniferSnook. All right, everybody, I've loved spending this time with you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. And until we're together again, everybody, stay rooted in love. We'll see you next time.